years ago, you started with the mean stack, which was Mongo, Angular, Node, and Express. Yeah, the E is for Express. Are you still running with the mean stack?
It's a little bit sad in some points because it still has the A in the stack. I'll be more specific here. We're still running on Node and our database still Mongo. Our front end though is a little bit more different. It's a little bit different. So we have React now. So all new applications are written in React. We have mobile app written in React Native. And we have some front ends written in Angular JS, and that's what I'm sad about.
Yeah,
because they're quite big applications and takes a lot of time to rewrite them. We have started this process. It just takes ages to do, and because it doesn't deliver any value to the customers, it's very hard to get some more priority of it as well. But we have it. We have it going. So it's not mean anymore. It has a little bit more letters here and there.
Mean with React.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very good stack, to be honest. We had this conversation with a new colleague that started about two months ago. He's actually a friend of mine. We've known each other for quite some time, and he decided to join the company. And one of the first questions he asked me when he decided to join was, okay, do you feel happy with the stack you've chosen? And that's a very hard question and very deep.
And it was going to be my next question. So, do you feel happy with the stack? Do you have any regrets?
Yeah, of course I do. And as much as I think about them, I feel like we've made the best choice with the information we had and with the technology we had at the time. Because right now you have more choices in terms of technologies. Also, there were some technologies back then that now they are viable technologies, but back then you didn't. So I'm quite happy with the stack given the information and the technologies that were available back then. And to be honest, one of the best choices was the database, which I know you're going to be surprised because you like Postgres. But it's a pretty decent database. We do a lot of bad things with it, and it never failed us.
All right, yeah, that it's also in the questions about the non-relational database. But 9 years, I suppose it makes sense. But are you using Mongo as a relational database, or you're using it as a non-relational database? And this is my first question, and perhaps the follow-up question is, what is the best feature of Mongo that for the last 9 years you were really, really happy that you stick with it?
Yeah, I will surprise you, but the best feature of Mongo is not that you can push anything in it. That's not the best feature. That's the worst feature. The best feature of Mongo is its scalability. It's very, very scalable database. You can do very bad things with it, and it will just respond, and it's gonna respond quickly, which is amazing, and usually not true with other databases. So that's one of its best features, and the worst, as I said, it's the thing why we chose it and why most people choose it is because it's easy. You don't need to migrate schemas and things like that. Well, guys, that's not true. You still need to migrate your schemas once you start changing things, and you still need to have very well-defined schemas. You need to follow them. You need to do all the stuff you have to do in the relational database. MongoDB doesn't help you with this. It just doesn't enforce it, which is okay. But you need to know the schema in your application. Otherwise, it's going to be very messed up very quickly. Did I respond?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that even if the database is not enforcing schema like Mongo, you will have schema enforced on the application layer. One way or another, you can explicitly enforce it with some kind of ORM or abstraction, or the product that you're building will implicitly enforce it on you. Because you will be, once you start checking, do I have this property or if this property, then you're implicitly enforcing some kind of schema in the code. And I believe you are using TypeScript.
Yes, most of the backend is written in TypeScript now. All new stuff is written in TypeScript. It's enforced. we have a lot of old code that we're not touching that often, that is still not rewritten. All front-end React applications, they're only TypeScript. TypeScript is much better than the JavaScript.
Yeah.
It's still JavaScript, to be honest, but
it's easier for the developers.
Yes, that's why I like it so much. And it's harder to get into the situation when you expect something and something else happens.
Yeah.
Of course, somebody can put any into whatever they want to, but yeah, it's harder. You have to make it explicit, and with JavaScript, it's always like this. So.